Hi, welcome back to another episode of Rapid Fire Review Workbench Edition. I'm your host, Barry Goodband.
And I'm Storn Cook. And today we're going to show you how to upgrade your inner barrel.
Okay, there's going to be a couple of things you're going to need for this project. First, obviously, you're going to need a nice clear workspace, clear of dirt, debris, and obstructions, things of that nature. You're also going to need some tools. I think you can get through the whole project with just a simple multi-tool, but it's a good idea to maybe check your manual, find out if there's perhaps a little Allen wrench or something like that that you got in your packaging that helps you break your particular gun down at home into its sub-assembly parts.
Another useful thing is some silicone spray. You're going to want this to put the inner barrel back into the hop-up assembly. And of course, you're going to want some an inner barrel, and we've got two to show you today. One's a 6.01 millimeter, and the other one's a 6.03 millimeter. We're going to be using the 6.03 millimeter today for the demonstration purposes. Another key thing to keep in mind is that barrels come in different lengths, and you want to make sure you get the right length for your weapon.
All right, and there's a couple of easy ways to do that. You can check your manufacturer's website to see if they have diagrams or something like this, or you can, consult your user's manual. I like to take the barrel out and measure it myself. That way, I'm absolutely sure that I'm getting what I need and not wasting time, reordering and ordering and wasting money as well.
Yep, good point. Okay, I think we're ready to dive in. We're going to take this gun apart.
All right, so as you can see, we've got this gun broken down into its two major sub-assemblies, the upper and lower receiver. Now, we want to stress to you guys how important it is to consult your manuals at this step, because all of these different airsoft gun manufacturing companies put their stuff together just a little bit differently than the next guy. So go ahead and take the time to look at your manual, make sure that you're performing this step correctly, because if you're not, you could break something, cause a malfunction, and you're just causing yourself more time and heartache in the long run.
Okay, there's a couple of reasons why you might want to upgrade your inner barrel, and they're small, simple, little reasons like FPS and accuracy.
Oh, those are just little ones.
Just little ones.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, it's an easy project to do, and it really does, pay off in the long run. So one of the things that you're going to want to remember the whole time you're doing this project is to absolutely make sure that you keep this hop-up assembly in an inverted position. That is, with the feed tube pointed up in the air. Now, that's due to the fact that there are some intricate parts in here. Primarily, the hop-up cylinder is this tiny, tiny little thing that if you do invert it while you're performing this project, that could fall out and you'll never find it. It is the tiniest little piece of thing. So remember to keep this thing, your feed tube pointed in an upward direction, and you won't have that problem.
And another important thing to keep in mind is to make sure that the hop-up is turned all the way off.
Absolutely.
As Barry will take out that barrel, there's the bucking in there, and bucking is very supple rubber. It's very easy to tear, and if that hop-up is engaged, it could tear the bucking badly, and then you'll have to order a new bucking.
If you've got your hop-up on, you try to pull the barrel out. If the barrel comes out at all, it'll come out with a torn bucking on the end of it. So remember that. Dial that hop-up back.
We'll take that puppy apart there.
All right, so let's do that. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this black washer here. And this is in there just to, take up some space and prevent from wobbling in the outer barrel. And the next thing we're going to do is come down here to the housing on the assembly, and you're going to remove your barrel retainer clip, also called a C-clip, I've heard it referred to as.
Sometimes you need a tool.
You can get at that usually with a thumbnail, or if you need a screwdriver or something like that, you can use a flathead screwdriver. So then you're going to set that aside. The next thing you're going to want to try and get out of there very gently, as you can see there's a little brass ring in here, and that spacer's there in order to take up room between the barrel itself and the plastic housing. So you're going to take that out, slide it off, and remember to retain that and keep it off to the side. So you can already see that the bucking is starting to appear here as the barrel is starting to work its way out. At this point, you want to just gently move things back and forth, as I said, very gently, and you might find yourself having to work at it a little bit, but that bucking will eventually come out of there, and all one piece. That's a good thing also, remember, is as you get it out, maybe you want to put your thumb here and gently remove the hop-up assembly. Now remember, don't turn this over. Maybe you set it against something so that it will stay in an upright position. You're not going to lose that part out of there.
Okay, and here's your new barrel.
All right, the next thing you're going to do is just very gently remove this bucking. Set it to the side because you're going to be reusing that again, and you're ready to go. All right, so we're going to start reassembling this here, and the first and probably the most important step in all of this is treating the barrel and the hop-up bucking with a little bit of silicone oil.
Yep, indeed. This is going to help you get that bucking back on there a little bit easier. Okay, there you go.
It's also important for us to remind you guys, never use a petroleum-based product like WD-40 or something like that on this project.
Always silicone.
Always use silicone oil. Petroleum-based products will absolutely destroy the internal parts of your gun. So, as we're putting this back together here, I need to show you guys on the top of the barrel here, there's a small groove cut. Now that groove matches up with a small rib that's inside the bucking. Now those two are there in order to make sure that the bucking is not going to spin freely on the back of the barrel and it's going to remain in place. So you're going to want to make sure that that is in there, and you can kind of feel it with your finger. If it's not in the notch, you'll be able to feel a little bit of a ridge there.
Oh, good tip.
And you want to make sure that it's fully seated up against the back of the barrel there. And then, as I said, you're going to want to treat the bucking itself as well with a little bit of silicone oil.
Because this is going to help you get it back into the hop-up assembly a little bit easier.
Yeah, a little lubrication always helps. And also, this is a great thing to put on this bucking because this silicone oil is going to prevent it from deteriorating and drying out on you. It's a good preventative measure for that. So once you've got this done, you've got your hop-up assembly here. As we said, remember, keeping it inverted, that feed tube in the upward position. And you're going to then make sure that you see your notch here. That's also in the 12 o'clock position. And you're going to start slowly, gently working this back together. Now you can maneuver it around a little bit, kind of talk nice to it, and it should go right back in there without any problem for you. Now, once that bucking has disappeared up inside the assembly, you can just check real sure, make sure that the notch there is in the lined up position with your feed tube. And then you can start to re-add your hardware. We'll put our spacer back up in here. Make sure that that's in position properly. Then we'll add our C-clip or barrel retainer clip. Make sure we got it the right way around here. And that just clips into position. And there you go. You are upgraded. You're ready to rock and roll. Slide this thing back up into your gun and have some fun with it. All right, so now that we've got the project completed, we just wanted to take a couple of minutes and give you guys some useful tips on how you can better enjoy your upgrade as you go down the road. And number one, the most important thing is that when you upgrade your barrel, you absolutely have to upgrade your BBs as well. Yeah,
cheap BBs can cause you a lot of trouble because they vary in size quite a bit. When it goes down your tight bore barrel, it can jam and then your day is done. Good manufacturers of BBs will actually print the specs right on the bag so you can match the tolerance of your barrel to the size of the BBs and make sure everything is okay. And ParamitAir.com offers all kinds of manufacturers' BBs that are very, very good. So check them out.
Absolutely. And that kind of leads me into my final point, guys, and that is when you're going to get into working on your airsoft gun, do your homework, do some prep time, do a little bit of research ahead of time so that you know what you're doing. You know you're going to have the right tools, you know you're going to have the right products and facilities to get the job done without causing yourself any problems or hassles. So, you know, there's a lot of resources out there. Go ahead and do the research and make sure that you're going to get things done right the first time, not cause yourself any heartache or possibly cost yourself some money down the road.
Sounds great.
All right. So that's all the time that we've got for this episode, but you guys keep your eyes open because we'll be back in the very near future with another edition of the Workbench, and we'll have another cool gun project on tap from PyramidAir.com. But until then, I'm your host, Barry Goodband.
And I'm Storn Cook, and if you're interested in reaching us, you can reach us at rapidfirereview@PyramidAir.com, or you can check us out on Pyramid Air's Facebook page.
All right, and one more thing before we go, guys. I always have to remind you, airsoft guns are realistic copies of actual firearms. So always play safely, act responsibly, and we'll see you guys out there in the field.
Do not remove the federally required orange marking from your gun. Treat airsoft guns the same as firearms. Assume a gun is loaded, even if you know it's unloaded. Never shoot at someone who isn't wearing proper eye protection. Never brandish your gun in public, and always transport it in a case. Do not point an airsoft gun at anyone as a joke. Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Do not use airsoft guns to shoot at, discipline, or injure animals. Know the laws regarding airsoft guns and their use.